He's like, but they're wet. And it was like, because they are wet, so it is cold, but you keep wetting them. So it's a terrible thing to laugh, but it was like, what can I do? Like, I'm literally about to get off right now. I'm not going to give you no more clothes for you to do exactly the same thing with them. So you have to get the next shift to give you some new clothes so you can wet them up again, so you can be cold, so you can stop the next person and say, I'm cold, my clothes are wet. So that's just our life. Like, anyway, we're going to talk about it. So, I am a psych tech. And a lot of people be like, what is a psych tech? And I'm like, damn. But a psych tech is basically a psych nurse, a nurse that deals with people who have not medical issues, but sometimes we do, but people who have psychological disorders and different things like mental health problems and mental health diagnoses. So, there's different areas that you can work in. You can work in the hospital, you can work in the prison, you can work in the jail, you can work like different facilities, private homes, stuff like that. So my experience comes from working in prison mainly. So one night, we doing second shift. We doing third watch, which is from 3 to 11, basically.
Can't drop no names.
We always call last names at this job. So we there, it's nighttime. Like at nighttime, it used to be real chill. All the patients asleep or whatever. It's in prison, so they're like behind closed doors, and most people be knocked down. Like some people in their room watching TV, but most people it's like real low keys. We about to go home. It's like 11. So we get this patient in earlier that day, maybe about 4:35ish or whatever. We got this patient. He like crazy. Like he's like really manic. He like tripping. Like he smells real bad. He's not doing too fine. So we get him all checked in or whatever. The nurses check him out, look him over or whatever. He goes to his room, to his cell or whatever. So while he's in there, we get the report, like all the stuff that he got going on with him. Like he's ripping up the bed. He's like the mattress, he's ripping it up. He's peeing all over himself. He's just tearing his room up. He's just like disheveled and jacked up or whatever. So we're like, damn. So we're doing our rounds or whatever we do. And so for the most part of the shift, he was all right. He wasn't really tripping or whatever. He was naked, standing at the door. It was like, and there is some people, I don't even act like there ain't no people who like have nice bodies or whatever in prison, but he wasn't one of them. Okay, so he in here, he's kind of older, he's like wrinkled, skinny little guy or whatever. He's standing at the door naked. So we like, damn. So my girl, she doing her rounds. My sister, she doing her rounds or whatever, and it's time for us to go. So she kind of like mobbing through, like kind of like fast, because she's trying to do her thing, because we're trying to get ready to go home. So we have to wait for relief. You have to wait for somebody to come in and relieve you, and then they'll take over or whatever. So we chilling, waiting to go. She's doing her rounds. So he calls her over or whatever when she's doing her rounds. Like what rounds are is when you walk around the unit and looking on the patient and see what they're doing. You mark it down what they're doing, you know. So he's like, come here. And so she goes to him, of course. She's like, what you need? You know, she's a G. And he like, I need some new clothes. And she like, I'm not gonna give you no new clothes, because every time I give you some new clothes, you're wetting them up or whatever. So, you know, we're not gonna give you no new clothes or whatever. He's like, I need some new clothes. And so she's like, look, put the other ones back on, because we're not gonna give you any new clothes. You're ripping them up, you messing them up. We're not gonna give you no new clothes right now. You have to wait till the next shift comes in. They'll give you some, because it's time for me to get ready to go, and you keep messing up your clothes. And he was like, but they're wet. And it was like, it shouldn't have been funny. Somebody blow on me. So anyway, she's doing her rounds. He's like, I'm cold. It's not funny, but she's like, I'm cold. And she was like, well, put your clothes back on. Like, you know, put your clothes on, you stand here naked or whatever. And he's like, but they're wet. And it was like, because they are wet, so it is cold, but you keep wetting them. So it's a terrible thing to laugh, but it was like, what can I do? Like, I'm literally about to get off right now. I'm not going to give you no more clothes for you to do exactly the same thing with them. So you have to get the next shift to give you some new clothes so you can wet them up again, so you can be cold, so you can stop the next person and say, I'm cold, my clothes are wet. So that's just our life. Like, life as a psych tech, we're funny. We have to laugh when we can because, $41, what? But yeah, that's life as a psych tech. I don't understand how people be driving. I don't really get it, but I'm just going, it's their world. I'm just living in it. Lady, come on now. Oh, gosh. I don't want it to be a situation because I feel like her leg gonna get hit because she ain't paying attention. But, yeah, so, that mess was freaking funny. It was freaking funny. Like, it's just a lot of stuff. Like, it's a lot of stuff in psych tech, like at our jobs or whatever, that's freaking gross. And there's a lot of stuff that's not funny. A lot of stuff that's really sad. A lot of stuff that's really effed up too. Because a lot of us get abused. Like as far as like verbally and stuff. I think we all have at some point. Some worse than others because some of us like to fight. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Some of us like to fight, like to set it off or whatever. So, and sometimes when you set it off, the patients retaliate. And unfortunately, they don't have to be professional, so they gonna say whatever the hell they want to say. So it's just one of them things. Like if you start it, if you don't want to get burned, stay your ass out the kitchen.
Just real quick, I'm laughing, but a lot of patients do actually need help, and that's what we're here for. So I'm in no means making light or making fun of them. It's just fun of different situations that happen at work. But yeah, we're there to help. That's all. And I'm definitely not here to make fun of anybody who has mental health issues. If you have a loved one who has mental health issues, I pray for you and I pray for them.